Hey Aries, welcome to your February 2019 general reading. This is for those who have Aries in their sun, moon, and rising. It's also a general reading, so take the messages as they apply. For your overall energy this month, you have the Eight of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So this is about a lot of fast-paced movement, a lot of energy, communication, putting your thoughts and dreams out there into the world and having them multiply and come into your life. It seems like y'all are going to have an overall pretty good month. I'm seeing here that for those who have like a family, your financial stuff going on in your household is doing well. I see some of you might be having like a dinner party or being invited to somebody's house for a dinner party. Some of you might be buying yourself something that makes you like really, really happy. A lot of you are very hopeful about what the future has to bring. Some of you also will be getting recognized for a lot of maybe something that you've done either at work or something you've done at your house or some type of project that you've been working on. It's going to get recognized. Some of you might be getting over a cold or get over being sick. And some of you might have been having some health problems, which I'm going to get into that in a little bit later, but I do feel a sense of like being possibly not as in control as you once were, or maybe you're getting to a point where you're kind of releasing your control and not trying to control every situation and put an expectation on how it's supposed to be. So some of you might be getting more into the flow of life. I see you getting out of the house a lot for February, even though it's, a really cold month, I guess depending on where you live, but I'm seeing you being very active and staying busy and being out of the house. And then you also have, let's see, the Page of Cups. Normally when that card comes, it normally means there's going to be some type of a message that you get that pertains to like your emotions. So this might be a message. It could be like a sweet love note. It could be somebody you haven't heard from in a while that calls you, and it makes you emotionally like really happy to hear from them because you haven't heard from them in a while. I also have some oracle cards here that I did for you, and we have the grounding and security, we have the herbal kitchen, and dedication. And with these 4 cards, I'm seeing that a lot of you, the main thing I'm really seeing is a lot of you getting into gardening. And if not gardening, then more towards your diet. I feel like a lot of you are going to be eating more of a plant-based diet if you're not already on one, or you're going to be very strict about getting onto one to help with some health conditions. Some of you are going to be taking up growing your own food. I also see that you're spending more time putting more focus onto things that you want to see grow in the future and more things that you're like passionate about, and kind of not wasting your time going all over the place and trying to take on more than one thing. I really feel here like y'all have a strong earth energy with y'all. Like I feel like y'all are getting very centered and grounded for the month of February. And I see a lot that has to do with being out, like having being in the garden or growing your own food, or for some of you that do like that do spells and stuff, a lot of you might be working with more with like food magic. I'm going to be shuffling some more cards here too to get some more messages. I feel like some of you also are going to be creating a space that's kind of like your spiritual place, or like your happy place, like somewhere where when you go to that space or place that you create, it's somewhere that can make you really happy and really calm. Yeah, and it takes you away from like all the crazy chaos that's going on. So And for whatever reason, this, I just really strongly feel like this has to be somewhere that has something to do with like plants, or say if your space is like somewhere inside your house, you have some type of like plants there, or some of you, it might be in the kitchen. Some of you might feel the most calm in the kitchen when working with food or cooking. And I do see a really big, strong vibe here when it comes to the food. Like a lot of y'all's food, y'all are getting more into like what it is you're putting into your bodies. Some of you might be going to the gym more, or watching your diet. Okay, and then now we have the Six of Wands reverse. You know, it's funny because as much progress as I see y'all making, and as much as I see y'all finding like a happier space and like a calm space, there's something about y'all that feels like, you know, like this like lack of control, or feeling like you haven't completed something. But I think by spending more time in this area that you create, it might be able to help you kind of get through that and figure that out. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, and then there's another earth sign. So some of y'all might be dealing with an earth sign in general, but I feel like some of you might be having someone contact you. Some of you might be going on a date with an earth sign. I know Valentine's Day is coming up. This is like a really charming person. We have the Six of Swords. Yeah, and you're trying to get away from anything that just mentally drains you. I kind of feel like you're at this point of like, you've done so much, and you've like been here and been there, and you've done this and you've done that. You're kind of like wanting just a more peaceful atmosphere. I do see that some of you could be taking a trip, and maybe if you are going on this trip, it could be somewhere in a very, it would be a road trip, somewhere that has a lot of trees, and like some of you it could be water though. I'm thinking either like there's either some trees with like a lake, cooking, hunting. Some of you might be going to like a wine place, like a vineyard. Some of you are finding a new hobby that you're getting into, and you're really putting all of your effort into this new hobby. And if it is, yeah, right as I'm saying that, this new hobby is going to make you like really, really happy. Like it, whatever this new thing is that you just got into, it's really bringing you a whole new level of calm, peace, zen. It's helping your anxiety go down. So I think it's really great. Oh, yes. And then you'll have the sun. Ah, I love it. Okay, Aries, I'm going to go ahead and stop y'all's reading there, because y'all are just in this, you know, really happy space, you know, and figuring out what it is that, you know, brings you calmness and joy. And I think it's really great. And I even see some of y'all, there could be babies somewhere in here, pregnancy somewhere in here. Some of you have, are really spending more time with your kids and appreciating your kids. But overall, I just see that this is going to be a really good month. And even for those who are like single and stuff, I'm seeing here, you're going to be like treating yourself and loving yourself for the holidays, for those who celebrate it. But yeah, okay, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you'll have a good Valentine's. Bye, Aries.